Hello, welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree. This video is an introduction to my channel and the philosophy behind my tarot readings. So I've been reading tarot for about 5 years, and I've been working with moon energy for over 7 years now. And I have found a lot of healing. I've done a lot of healing because of tarot and because of working with the moon. And so I'd like to bring those concepts here and help others with my readings and the concepts that come out of those readings. And it is my goal to shine a light on things that are hidden, the shadow that is hidden within ourselves, so that we can integrate that shadow and we can become whole again. So I use the concept of Temescali, the Atlachinoli, and Jungian philosophy when doing my readings. So we'll start with Temescali. And how I came into contact with Temescali is about 3 years ago. I found this group here in my local city, and they showed me a lot of the ceremonies, the traditions of my people. Prior to that, I had no idea really where I came from. I knew my family is Mexican American. We are 4 generations American. I don't know Spanish. I've been to Mexico once on a cruise. So I am deeply out of touch with that aspect of myself and that aspect of my history. So when I came into contact with these people, they showed me so much, and everything sort of clicked. All these little things that I've been doing throughout my life, these little philosophies that I have come to understand about myself, about the world, the way that I revere nature, just so many different things that have always just been so innate within my being. When I found out that there is an actual culture built around this, it was just mind-blowing to me. And as with many ancient people, the elements are revered: earth, wind, fire, water. The 4 directions are revered: plants, animals. Everything that sustains life we're grateful for it. We're thankful for it. And not only that, being able to have ceremonies in gratitude of that was just a wonderful thing. And to be surrounded by our people, I dance in reverence for these energies, for the elements, for our food. And I also dance in prayer too. I pray for others. So the work that I do with the moon it has been in line with what I have learned of this ancient culture, this culture that is mine, that has been so long ago lost. And my family has very much assimilated. And so we don't even know what tribe we're from, if you even want to call it that, what peoples we're from in Mexico. So, and that's how lost it is. And so you can imagine how someone who has no idea about any of that, how that feels. And then to find people that are doing things that are in line with what you've been doing pretty much your entire life, it was amazing. So one of the things that I participated in was Temescal. It's called Temescali or Temescal. And basically it's a sweat lodge, and it's a ceremony. It's a very strict ceremony with distinct rules and a distinct path to follow. And what it is basically is you come into a lodge. It's dark. There's a pit in the center, and fire heated rocks are brought in. Now these rocks are special rocks. They're not just any rocks you can get at Home Depot or whatever. And we call them our grandmothers and grandfathers. They're our ancestors. They're from deep within the earth's core, and they have all the knowledge and information that we are in search of. And we heat those rocks in a fire for about 2 hours, and we bring them in each round, one by one. We'll bring them in. I've been in ceremonies with as much as 56 rocks, and these rocks are not small, they're big. They have to be brought in with the pitchfork. And then water is poured over these rocks, and we are in complete darkness. Water is poured over the rocks by the person running the ceremony. We sing, we pray, and we are purified by the steam, and we let go of things. And part of my teachings when I'm reading is to help people to recognize their feelings, recognize anything they have trapped inside, recognize their shadow, and express that, to get it out into the ether. And that is a big concept in the Temescal, is to pray and tell your ancestors what it is that you're needing, and ask for help. So we use, in that ceremony, we use all of the elements. We use fire, we use earth, we use water, and air. And the singing is air, the steam is produced in the air. And another Aztec concept is Atlalchinoli, which is the concept of water and the scorched earth coming together to create this third thing, which is spirit. And there's a lot of controversy over this and where it came from and what it actually means. Some people think it means war. Other people say, yes, war, but it's the war within yourself. I, however, feel that it's more of a metaphysical concept. It's kind of like the two opposing energies coming together, not even opposing, two complementary energies coming together and creating a third, which is the steam, the fire, or the water, and the hot air, the scorched earth, the rocks, right? They come together and they create this steam. And that is a transformation. That is the transformation that we're looking for. That's the transformation that I am reading for, is to shine a light on that thing that needs to be transformed so that you can recognize it and then release that out into the ether. So, and let's see what else. The moon. Okay, so the moon is also instrumental in my readings, because the moon is that light that is shining in the darkness. The moon is that guidepost to help you figure out where it is that you need to go. When I work outside with the moon, it's a very emotional thing for me. I feel we enter into a dialogue, the moon and I. And I get a lot of answers and clarity when working with the moon. And the moon is attributed to water. And so the water is, of course, our emotions. And so the moon is very instrumental in helping us recognize our emotions, understand our emotions. And also within that, I use the Jungian philosophy, 4 archetypes. His 4 main archetypes are, and I mainly just work with the shadow, but I do incorporate the anima animus, the persona, and also the self. And the self is the combination of the unconscious and the conscious mind coming together to becoming self-actualized. And so I use all of that in my readings to help bring some clarity, to help us understand what it is that we're doing, whether we're doing it unconsciously or maybe even consciously, but why are we doing it, and recognize it when it happens. That way we can kind of catch our snap and maybe make adjustments so that it's no longer plaguing us. And so I'll make a lot of mentions to the shadow in my readings, in that we need to recognize the shadow, we need to give the shadow a hug, and no longer keep the shadow separated. We need to integrate that shadow into ourselves so we can become whole again. So I do want to show, I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see here. Okay, I hope I can do this. Right, so it's going to look a little weird for a second while I get to my screen. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is the temescal that I'm used to. This right here, and basically it is just flexible branches like willow tree, and it's a very intense and sacred process to build a temescal, and many things need to go into this. So it's not just okay, I'm going to get some branches and I'm going to make this little hut. It's not like that. We have a sacred fire, we have a sacred space, and there is a ceremony to doing all of this. So I need to plug in my computer. There we go. Okay, so this is the lodge or the temescal, and this door is where we come in at. We come in through the left and circle all the way around. Women generally sit on this side, which is to the right of the temescalera or the temescalero. And we pull the rocks from this fire here and put it into the center of the temescal. And there is a door that is closed, so it's pitch black dark, amazing. And it's a wonderful ceremony. There's singing, there's a drum. It's beautiful. Now, how I understand that in ancient Mexico, the Mexica, the Aztecs, had more of a permanent structure, and it was more like this. It was rocks and stones plastered together. I'm not exactly sure how they covered this door, or if the door was even covered, but most of these temescals do not have covers on their doors. However, I'm used to having just complete darkness. So that is the temescal. I'm going to show you the atlachinoli. So I have this glyph here on my homepage, and this is the atlachinoli. This blue right here is the glyph for water, which is atl, ATL, in Nahuatl. And this right here is the scorched earth. Now, this particular glyph was found on in an eagle's mouth. So it's right here. The eagle is holding this, but I have a picture of where it is found in one of the supporting rocks of one of the temples in Mexico. So here it is right here. Here's the eagle. That might even be Quetzalcoatl, but no, actually it's an eagle. I'm sorry. And it just kind of looked like Quetzalcoatl with these feathers here. So this is the atlachinoli, and this is what's in the eagle's mouth. And according to Mexican lore, that the Aztecs were traveling for many years trying to find the exact place where they needed to set up shop. Basically, they were basically nomads for many years, and the sign for them where they were supposed to settle was an eagle with maybe a snake in his mouth or perched on top of a cactus. And so that's how this became on the Mexican flag. So here's the glyph again. All right, and yes, so that's what I wanted to show. We will switch back. All right, so I've pretty much covered everything, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I will do my best to get the answer for you if I don't have it. I would also like to say that I did find a video that pretty much explains this view of Atlachinoli not as the, oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. There is a little confusion about what the Atlachinoli means. Something that it is war. Others will say that it's war within ourselves. And so I feel like it's just more of a metaphysical thing than something as just like war. In the Aztec temple, I think it's Templo de Mayor temple. There is a temple for the rain god Tlaloc, and then there's also right next to it a temple for Huitzlilapochtli, which is the god of war, and he also represents fire. So we have water and fire. So there is a video which goes into a little bit more detail about this, more of the metaphysical meaning behind this Atlachinoli, and I posted that in my video playlist, and it's called Teachings. So if you would like to watch that, you'll I can't remember exactly what the video is called, but you'll be able to discern which video it is. All right, well, that is my introduction to my channel, introduction to my readings, and I thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for visiting, and I hope to get to know you in the comments. I really enjoy hearing from the community, and thank you again for watching, and have a great day. Bye bye.